Hello everybody, welcome back. Happy Monday. So on Mondays on my channel, we do any kind of non-dessert recipe, so either savory or breakfast or like anything within that range. And today we are going to be making rainbow cinnamon buns. So this recipe is actually from my new cookbook that I just came out with. It is called Unicorn Food and it is filled with rainbow recipes. So I thought that I'd show you guys one of the recipes in the book, and this recipe is actually exclusive to the book. It's not on YouTube, actually it is now, but you guys already know my channel before, and oh my god, these cinnamon buns are so good, and they're actually relatively easy to make. So if you want to make homemade bread but you've always been a little bit intimidated, this is the perfect recipe. And if you just want to make regular cinnamon buns, just don't add the food coloring and you have perfect cinnamon buns. So let's get started. Alright, so I am going to be reading out from my book because that is where the recipe is typed. Look at the pretty photo. Anyways, slightly biased there, but first things first, you want to pour the milk, yeast, 1 egg, and 1 cup of all-purpose flour into the bowl of an electric mixer. Mix it to combine, then sprinkle over another 1 cup of flour and let this rise for 40 minutes. So what you're looking for is you want the flour that you poured on top to have a little crack in the middle after the 40 minutes is up. Then add the remaining 4 eggs to the dough along with some sugar, salt, and 1 more cup of all-purpose flour. Place these into a mixer fitted with the dough hook attachment and mix on low speed for 2 minutes. Add the remaining half cup of flour and mix on medium speed for 15 minutes. And fun fact for you guys, oh my god, when I was making this recipe for the cookbook, I had my KitchenAid on my counter in my kitchen going, and it was like going, and when there's a big chunk of dough in your KitchenAid and it's going pretty quickly, it can sometimes like shift the physical KitchenAid. And I was sitting in my office, which looks onto the kitchen, and I looked over at the KitchenAid while it was mixing for that 15-minute period, and I'm like, does that look close to the edge of my counter? And as I thought that, it fell off while it was running, hit the floor, dented the floor, and I rent. I don't own my place, so that's gonna be fun when I'm moving out. I think it dented the floor in one place. It broke off a chunk of the wood in another place. I think it hit the cabinet too. My KitchenAid is like on its way out now. So yeah, fun fact, I ruined my KitchenAid making this, and my floor that I don't own. So yeah, when you are using your KitchenAid, just watch it. Maybe don't put it as high as I did. I think you put it on high instead of medium, and place it in the center of your counter, I would recommend. Then you want to reduce the speed to medium-low and gradually add 1/3 cup of unsalted butter. Increase the speed to medium-high and beat for 1 minute, then reduce the speed to medium and beat for 5 minutes. Pop the dough into a large buttered bowl and cover with plastic wrap. Then you want to let it rise for 2.5 hours. Then deflate the dough and divide it into 6 pieces. Dye it pink, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. And I'll have my favorite food coloring, which is the Wilton Colorite, linked in the description box below if you want to pick it up. That's what I use to color these if you want that exact same color. So vibrant, I will never use another kind of food coloring again. I am so sold. Not sponsored also, which is most important. So it may take some time for the food coloring to evenly disperse throughout the dough, but don't worry, just keep going, pop on some Netflix, it'll happen, don't worry. And then you want to pop these onto a buttered baking sheet, cover with plastic wrap, and allow it to sit for about 4 to 6 hours or up to overnight. And so I know a lot of like bread recipes seem to take a lot of work because there's a lot of resting, but there's not a lot of actual doing, so it takes a long time because you're letting it sit and rise. But there's not a lot of like actual labor involved, so please don't be intimidated by the long wait. You can like start the croissants, we're not making croissants. You can start the cinnamon buns in like the afternoon and have it finished like the next day. And yeah, it doesn't take too long, and they're so much better than store-bought. Oh my god. You want to divide each ball of dough in half and roll each half into little sausages that are 10 inches long. And then arrange them side by side on a flour surface, pinching the edges together. And you want to use 1 color per little like batch, so you're going to have 2 rectangles that look rainbow. So working with 1 rectangle at a time, you want to roll the dough into an 11 by 13 inch rectangle. Then evenly disperse half of the remaining butter onto the surface of the dough. And then you want to fold the dough into thirds like a letter. And I'll have the full recipe with all the quantities and everything listed in the description box below. I'm not going to make you buy the book for this recipe, but if you want more, they're in the book. Then you want to roll up the dough again to an 11 by 13 inch rectangle and fold it into thirds again. Then wrap tightly in plastic wrap, pop it into the fridge for half an hour, and repeat with the remaining dough. Then you want to combine the sugar and cinnamon in a bowl and set it aside. Place one piece of dough on a floured surface and roll it again into an 11 by 13 inch rectangle. Brush the surface with the beaten egg, and then you want to sprinkle half of that cinnamon sugar onto the dough, leaving about the top quarter of the dough bare. This is important. Then roll the dough into a log, starting with the cinnamon sugar end and ending with the bare end. So the bare end is going to help seal the little buns closed. Then wrap it in plastic wrap, pop it into the freezer for 45 minutes, and repeat with the remaining dough. Then divide 3/4 cup of butter between 2 9-inch round baking tins, or this time I just bake them in one large baking dish. Totally up to you. Doesn't really change the recipe at all, so you can do whatever you like here. They will all look the same. Then unwrap the logs, slice them into 1.5 inch thick buns, making 14 buns total. Then pop 7 buns into each tin, or like all of them into your tin, whatever you like. And also this tin is from Kate Spade if you guys are curious. I'll link it in the description box below. It does have a maximum heat that it can handle, which is 350. So it's a little bit limiting, but this recipe cooks in my 350, so I'm like, yes, I get to use it. So I'll have it linked in the description box if you want to pick it up. So cute. So once the buns are in the tin, let them rise at room temperature for about 1.5 hours. Then bake the buns at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 35 to 40 minutes or until they're golden brown. And as soon as the cinnamon buns are finished baking, flip them out onto a wire rack, and some excess butter might drip out, so you want to make sure that you have a paper towel or a dish towel underneath to catch the butter. Then you want to turn the buns right side up again and allow them to slightly cool. So I pop them back in the baking dish just because I like that look, but it's totally up to you. You don't have to do that. And the added butter just makes it nice and like soft and like extra buttery when they're cooking. These are not healthy. These are not going to trim your waistline, but they're good, so who cares? Then to make the delicious cream cheese icing, which is my favorite part, place the cream cheese in a bowl and beat with an electric mixer for 2 minutes or until the cream cheese is fluffy. Then add some confectioner sugar and milk and beat until combined. Then just drizzle the icing on top of the cinnamon buns, and if you like, you can decorate with some rainbow sprinkles. I forgot to, not even kidding. So totally up to you. I was like too excited to eat one, so that's why. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you like this recipe. If you haven't yet, I definitely recommend that you pick up my book. I don't know. Link is in the description box if you want to pick it up. I made things like this. These are rainbow lollipops. There are some YouTube recipes in here, but the majority are exclusive to the book. Here are some rainbow sugar cubes. What else? Some rainbow shortbread. They're pretty. This is my favorite video. Oh my god. Recipe. Actually, it is a rainbow cocktail. No, got the name wrong. Rainbow champagne jellies. So that's like actually made out of champagne. It's like champagne gummies, but they're stacked in a glass, so you can eat with a spoon. And you can pour more champagne on top, so it's like bubble tea basically, but champagne. So good. I'm not even kidding. It's like my favorite thing. Okay. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you. I hope that you like this video. If you're looking for some more cinnamon bun recipes, a couple years ago actually I made a cinnamon bun cake. So good. Oh my god, it was my favorite. So I'll have it linked in the cards right here if you guys want to check it out. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for another video. Bye!